The Rams had run the 4-minute mile and then were asked to go another quarter. The tape had proved just out of reach. The end of the season would not be the Super Bowl, but the playoff bowl. It would not only be the conclusion of a brilliant season, but more importantly, the first game of 1968. Defensively, David Deacon Jones set the pace, and for his efforts, he was voted Defensive Player of the Game. His performance so impressive that there were other nominations. Roman Gabriel was voted Offensive Player of the Game. He engineered a gambling attack that burgeoned into one of tactical brilliance. Wide open, daring football was the keynote for the Ram offense. It will become a posture that will mean trouble for the opposition during the 1968 season. The running backs will pass, and the quarterbacks will run. Gabriel is remarkably strong. Couple this with a gambler's passion, you have a quarterback that will bootleg on 4th and 1. Gabriel picked up the first down by 20 yards. A change of quarters indicates no change in Ram aggressiveness. 4th down 2 at the 2, and already safe margin would suggest a field goal. But it was not a day of conservative choices. Billy Truax gets the 6 points. Again from definite field goal range, the Rams refused to forego the 6-pointer. Eddie Metter shocks Cleveland and fans alike with a pass to Dave Pivot. The pass a scant inches long. The desire right on target. The Browns attack the Ram line. League-leading rusher Leroy Kelly loses the ball as he's hit by Merlin Olsen. Irv Cross recovers. The Rams, a pressure team. Their vocabulary varied and unpredictable, but always with the reference of excellence. From the Cleveland 9, Willie Ellison explodes around right end. Ellison voted the Rams' top rookie. He fits the mold for 68. The defense held Cleveland to 6 points. The important number, however, is 30. In newspaper parlance, it means the end. 3-0 was the end of the 67 season, but every end also implies a fresh beginning. After 12 Sundays, 59 minutes, and 6 seconds came the crucial juncture of the 67 season. At this one particular moment, 1967 was indeed the year of the Ram. The ability to run would prove to be the decisive factor in this early season game that matched 2 title aspirants in the Cotton Bowl. Joe Carollo, number 63, and Charlie Cowan, number 73, have neutralized the defensive ends. Cowan and Carollo have launched Tommy Mason into cowboy territory. It's not all muscle. Guards Tom Mack and Joe Schiavelli will trick, influence the defensive tackles out of the play by pulling away from the point of attack. The Dallas tackles follow Mack and Schiavelli, and Lester Josephson has the clear path to the other side. Linemen go about 260 pounds. When they're on the hoof, it's an awesome sight. Joe Carollo in the circle obliterates the last obstruction on the corner. Willie Ellison records 44 yards. Blocking is not exclusive with the line. Setback Dick Bass graded better than 90% blocking efficiency. For a coach, this is the kind of statistic that is received almost as a bonus, especially when the back is Dick Bass, whose value as a runner is most evident. The second half was even more blocking, more running. Lester Josephson had the shirt ripped off his back, but under any number, the effect was the same. Josephson amassed 84 yards out of the total of 221 yards gained on the ground by the Rams. The eventual Eastern Conference champions couldn't cope with Ram power. Final score was 35 to the Cowboys, 13. Rosie Greer was sidelined early in the season. His frustration would be compounded by the end of this long, gray Baltimore afternoon. The Rams struck brilliantly and swiftly. A full Baltimore blitz, linebackers and a safety lose the gamble. Roman Gabriel fires a fingertip bomb to Jack Snow. The incredible catch is quickly balanced by a typical Unitas drive, culminating with Lenny Moore sweeping left end. Combination of Gabriel to Snow worked once, it will again. With almost an arrogant casualness, Snow continues to maintain its reputation of never having been caught from behind. Unitas back at the controls. He'll disrupt the seesaw rhythm by controlling the ball and easing 17 points onto the scoreboard. The next Ram scoring opportunity will be via the field goal. Bruce Gossett punches the ball exactly 47 yards. It bounces through the uprights to 3 points. The Rams now need a touchdown to tie. Unitas is in his glory when it comes to killing the clock, controlling the ball. Maxie Baughan defies the master's touch, and the Rams are still alive. Fantastic blocking insulates Gabriel from the ferocious Colt rush. Bernie Casey has taken the time to slip free in the corner of the end zone. The score is tied, 24-24. Unitas has one more chance. Willie Richardson had beaten Clarence Williams once. Unitas goes back to the well. A splendid effort by Williams wrests the ball from Baltimore. Possession is hotly disputed by the Colts. It would have meant sure field goal range and victory. The referee's decision will be final. At the end of the 11th week, the Packers sewed up the Central Division. After 12 weeks in the Coastal Division, the Rams had yet to face the worst. They would have to win both remaining games to edge the Colts, and meanwhile, the Colts were continuing to win with undeniable authority. The 13th week, and the task at hand is the Packers. By the end of the first quarter, Green Bay has gained a 7-0 lead. Undaunted by the deficit, Gabriel methodically sets out for a score himself. Throwing across the grain, he targets Jack Snow. Snow led all NFL regulars with a 26-yard average on pass reception. This one accounts for only 17 yards, but it's a touchdown. At the outset of the second half, the Rams found themselves behind again. It would be necessary to create a clear-cut control. Mack and Iman begin at the beginning by blocking. Roman Gabriel established a team record for most touchdown passes in a season. This one was extremely important as it did indeed establish control. Rams 14, Packers 10. The Rams sustained their momentum by adding a field goal, but field goals are followed by kickoffs, and Travis Williams happened to be on the receiving end of this one. Williams will sprint 104 yards for a score. It will be countered by another Gossett field goal, which, in turn, is overshadowed by another Packer touchdown. With 2 minutes remaining, the Packers lead 24-20. More importantly, they are in possession. The Rams have 2 timeouts left. George Allen knows the clock, and Green Bay will confront the Rams with an unparalleled test of character. Never was the presentation of Deacon Jones' All-Pro credentials more timely. As long as there is Jones, there is hope. Merlin Olsen makes a similar presentation, and the Packers will have to punt. There is less than a minute. It's hope against hope. The Rams gamble everything. There will be no run back. Tony Guillory blocks the punt. As Claude Crabb fields the ball, the Rams know that the gamble is won. All that remains is to score, and it has to be a 6-pointer. It has to be the 6-pointer against one of the most proud defenses in the league. On second down, the exquisite agony is wiped away. Gabriel had come back to Bernie Casey, and the professionalism meant 6 points. Once again, a critical test had been met. Now it all boiled down to the final 60 minutes. The Colts have an 11-0-2 record. The Rams have a 10-1-2 record. Remember that tie in Baltimore? Today, a tie is as terminal as a loss. It has to be all or nothing. Since October, the Rams have trailed the Colts by a game. Now in the showdown, they trailed by 4 in the first quarter. The Colts have momentum, but in an instant, that momentum slips away. John Mackey on 3rd and 9 gives yardage in order to gain that which has already been won. A set of sticking cleats stops the Baltimore drive. Sensitive to the Colt failure, Gabriel strikes quickly. Jack Snow will take the bomb at the apex of his pattern. He sprints in untouched. At 5:38 of the second quarter, the Rams have decisively and with finality tipped the initiative in their favor. The fearsome foursome, principally David Jones, Harris Unitas to the point of distraction. Eddie Mentor intercepts the ill-considered pass. Only 31 seconds remain in the half. Gabriel will press to bolster this halftime lead. Bernie Casey gets the honor. The third quarter is dominated by a courageous Ram defense. Jack Pardee made the big play, the play that led to the only score of the period, a Ram field goal. The last quarter would prove to be all Ram. A precise execution moved the ball. When the Colts did show their class, the Rams went one better. Gabriel to Casey. First down. But it was a sustained, drilled excellence that made the difference. Billy Truax scored. This excellence wasn't an exclusive with the offense. A pell-mell rush led by Merlin Olsen and David Cahill buckles United. Then it's Jones. Then on offense, it's Dick Bass. The final score is 34-10. It had been a 4-minute mile pace for the Colts, but they had fallen before the tape. Baltimore had ended a noble season. Their run had been brilliant. On August 2nd, the Rams started, sweeping their preseason schedule for the first time. They went on to accumulate the best regular season record in their history. The Coastal Division Championship had been won from the best competition in the league. A blend of execution and desire allowed the Rams to score the most points in the league. Execution and desire allowed the Rams to yield the fewest points in the league. More than 1 million fans came to the stadiums to see George Allen's Rams develop the best overall record in professional football. It had been a glorious season. It had been the 4-minute mile, a lung-bursting race to glory. The collective nervous system, however, had taken a pounding. The courage remained, but there had been an emotional drain. One more lap. Green Bay, the Central Division champions, a tenacious team. They're practiced counterpunchers. The conference championship will be a bitter struggle. The Southern Californians don't seem to mind the sub-freezing temperatures. A studied attack is moving the ball. Bernie Casey and the offense have proved they can score. It is now up to the defense to prove that they can stop the Packers. Chuck Lamson intercepts Bart Starr's pass. The return yields excellent field position. Then it happened. 20 weeks of excellence finally demanded its price. It was a price that could not be measured. The Rams were dulled, emotionally crystallized. When the field goal was denied, the pendulum had clearly swung in Green Bay's favor. All that had been done so well heretofore was suddenly impossible. It was a matter of inches. It was as if the tape had been abruptly moved just out of reach. For a while, the defense still operated on a deep-grained pride and habit. But the Packers are practiced counterpunchers, and finally, they asserted their will. The defeat could not have been more final. There would be no Super Bowl. The 21st game of the season erased the brilliance of a 17-1-2 record. It was a time of despair. At the last moment, the tape had been moved. But the Rams had never run such a race before, and now they know the tempo. They'll do it better. There is next year, the 1968 season. The Rams had run a long race, and the finish was disappointing in terms of the ultimate championship. The elements of that race, however, never approached disappointment. The blocking will be vicious. Ken Iman and Joe Schiavelli will be knocking people down. Dick Bass will be threading his downfield patterns. The Rams are a team of teams. Punter John Kilgore's toe activates one of them. The specialties feature such promising players as Bob Nichols, George Berman, Gene Breen, Tyrone Talbot, Greg Schumacher, and Kelton Winston. And Tony Guillory will still be harassing opposing punters. And there is the magnificent David Jones. Violent, slashing, all-pro, all-everything defensive lineman. Lamar Lundy has played with the Rams longer than any other player. Lundy's aggressiveness hasn't been diminished by his longevity. At one tackle, another all-pro, Merlin Olsen. Number 78, Roger Brown, is the newest member of the fearsome foursome. He replaced the injured Rosie Greer at tackle. And he replaced him with an equally effective style. The second line of defense is a combination of experience and depth. Doug Woodleaf is a promising young linebacker. The veteran starter, Myron Padios, overcame an injury to play a strong role. Maxie Bond was accorded All-Pro honors. Maxie, one of the most savvy linebackers in the league. He's deadly reading the sweep. Bond called a consistently heady defensive game. George Allen feels that Bond and Pardee comprise the best pair of outside linebackers in the league. The interception is Pardee's specialty. Pardee led all NFL linebackers in interceptions with 6. He just missed the league record by 1. Pass defense is naturally the domain of the secondary. Willie Daniel was the newest member of the secondary corps, a unit that led all NFL teams in interceptions. Irv Cross played a very particular brand of halfback. His tackling so vicious that receivers had a habit of becoming detached from the football. Chuck Lamson also played the ball. On fumble recoveries or deflecting the strike, Lamson was there. Clarence Williams pulls in the carom. Williams is a big, aggressive sprinter who plays the left wing. Eddie Metter is the free safety. He's All-Pro, too. 8 interceptions in '67 boosted his career total to 33, a new Ram record. These are the elements. These are the elements that carried the Rams to a splendid, bittersweet season that ended at the playoff bowl. The score was Browns 6, Rams 30. In newspaper parlance, 30-3-0 means the end, and so it was for the '67 season. But every end implies a new beginning, and the playoff bowl was a victorious start for the 1968 season.